Jingliu is almost here and she's looking to be a very solid character. How's it going, everyone? This is Kay, and if you're still undecided on whether she's a good character for you to pull, I'll break down the good, the bad, and the things you should consider. Going over her kits real quick, she's a DPS that mainly focuses on her enhanced state. You're not going to use her basic attack, but her regular skill, which deals single target damage, but most importantly, it gives you 1 CGG stack. You need 2 in order to go into her enhanced state. Her ultimate also gives you 1 stack upon use, but you don't want to waste her ult for that, meaning you'll need to use her skill twice, so she's technically a -2 SP character. Her talent is what transforms her into the enhanced spectral transmigration state. It gives her 100% action advance upon transforming and increases her crit rate significantly depending on the level, between 40% to 55% from level 1 to 15. In this state, you can only use her skill or ult. Her skill will transform into a new enhanced skill attack, which can now deal adjacent damage and will not consume SPs, but will use 1 stack. If she reaches 0 stacks, then her enhanced state ends. This is where her ult should be saved after entering her transmigration state. She can only carry 3 max stacks, and using her ult will give you the maximum amount, totaling 3 enhanced skill attacks. Not only that, her ult will do more damage in the enhanced state. Whenever she attacks while enhanced, she drains all other party members' health 4% of their max HP. In doing so, her attack stat gets a significant buff for her attacks. Her A6 also increases her ult damage while enhanced. The energy requirement for her ultimate is also high, being at 140, so you won't have enough turns to recharge it if you waste it just before entering the transmigration state. Her A2 increases her effective resistance while in the state, and A4 gives her a 10% advance forward when using her regular skill, which is meant to help you transform a bit faster. Now, in terms of Eidolons, it basically increases her damage, and I would recommend you skipping them. Save for different characters instead and build up a variety of teams you can use, but her E1 increases her crit damage when using her ult or enhanced skill. Additionally, if you're facing only one enemy, the adjacent damage that was meant for adjacent enemies will be transferred to the target. At E2, it increases her enhanced skill's damage after using her ult. E4 increases the attack buff percentage you receive when draining your allies' HP, and at E6, she gains 1 stack upon transforming, meaning you'll immediately start with all 3 stacks, and that means you'll get 4 enhanced attacks if you use her ult to regain a stack. Crit damage also increases. So why is Jingliu good? She is an ice DPS character, which is a category we're currently lacking in right now. We have Herta, sure, but she's not always the best for all challenging battles. Then we have Yanqing, who is a standard 5-star character, which means a lot of players won't have him unless you get lucky with the gacha pulls or you chose him specifically for your free 5-star. This leaves Jingliu as the most viable ice DPS we can use right now, and it's always a good idea to obtain a reliable DPS for each element. She also has AoE capabilities, so if you're lacking in those, you definitely can benefit by pulling for her. Building her relic stats will also be a lot easier thanks to the huge crit rate buff you receive from her talent. You can concentrate on damaging stats like attack or crit damage, even speed if necessary. In terms of teams, she can fit into the usual 2 buffers or a buffer and a debuffer, along with a strong sustain. She doesn't require anyone specific, but your sustain better be solid because the HP drain while low isn't going to help with survivability. If you have Grania, she synergizes with Jingliu a lot, allowing her to move faster to gain faster stacks. Pella, being an SP positive ice debuffer, is an amazing ally as well, and if you have Pella at E4, she can debuff the target's ice resistance, which will help Jingliu. Now, the negative sides to pulling for Jingliu, first and foremost, Fu Xuan is still up for a couple days. If you did not pull her yet, I would recommend you trying to get her first before any of the 1.4 characters. Obvious reasons is because she's a very, very strong sustain character. Most players simply won't have enough resources to pull for both Fu Xuan and Jingliu unless you get really lucky or you spend some money. Besides that, in terms of DPSs, we recently had several released characters who are very strong, like Blade, Kafka, and Dan Heng IL, so unless you really need an ice DPS character specifically, Jingliu may not be as desirable. Not saying she's bad or anything, just think about it like this. If you were to spend $200 on, let's say, your 4th or 5th DPS character, how much value and use will they be for you specifically? Or an even better question is, would you spend $200 to obtain your 4th or 5th DPS character? There's no right or wrong answer, as it's different for each person. Some people will use her till the game dies, while some will use her here and there for some battles, but generally, the use of specific DPS characters tends to go down as we obtain more. It's just how gacha games work. It's because when we have more characters, it gives us more options, and players tend to use characters based on what advantages they give them for that specific battle. As opposed to someone who only has, let's say, 1 or 2 DPS characters, you're more or less forced to use that 1 or 2 character. Another issue to consider is that if you're currently struggling with survivability for hard battles, let's say MOC or high level simulated universe, then the HP drain will make it slightly worse for you since your other 3 party members will lose small amounts of health when she attacks. It's not a lot, but as I said before, if you are already having trouble staying alive, losing more HP is the last thing you want. Finally, she's less likely to be future-proof. Yes, she's the best ice DPS character we'll have for now, but as more characters get released, her value may go down. Now, this doesn't mean she's obsolete. I mean, I still use my Jingliu despite having all the other DPSs, but again, it's like I said before, by having a lot more DPSs, usage will naturally go down a bit the more you have. She doesn't offer anything unique like Topaz, nor does she have a very specialized established team like Zilla yet. Regardless, if you do need a DPS character, Jingliu is someone you may want to get. If you are already doing fine, I suggest saving for future characters. But comment down below to let me know if you're pulling for Jingliu. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for future Star Rail videos. Best of luck on all your pulls, everyone. Till next time.